Day 38, September 25th. Let's begin. I was gonna say something, but I have food in my mouth, so I'll say it after I finish. So it's a 19. So 5 years. That person was born in 1928. Oh my god. And for birthday, didn't pass it. Then 1927. Holy shit. This person was freaking 20 something. That's crazy, man. Alright. What I wanted to share was I watched the Joker film. I haven't watched it. I just watched it today. And it's a very egregious. Is that the right pronunciation? Egregious, egregious. Um, Devastating, tragic, awful, and just sad. It really, and this is the funny thing. I wish I watched the film back when it came out, and because there were things that I was able to pick up immediately. Um, when spoiler alert, obviously, but I'm gonna talk about. So I'm really bad with names, so bear with me. When Arthur, in the beginning of the movie, Arthur receives a gun. His quote unquote friend gives it to him, and he gives the gun to him. He gives the gun to Arthur with these. He says that Arthur is his boy. All that charming, very cover of the book sort of talk. I, it's so tragic. I don't know what to say. It's a very tragic movie. Um, it's even as Arthur kills these men throughout the film, if you have to grow a sense of sympathy for the guy, for the character, but at the same time it's tragic because the people who have died, they also have very special people people that are a big part, that the person that died were a big part of other people's lives. Um, and it's like an unending cycle of just hate, destructiveness, um, inequality. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I'm don't know what I really wanted to say. I think I just wanted to talk about the movie, but yeah, I thought it was sad, really sad. Because the whole saying of I don't even know I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. Let's go back to reading. Yeah. I know. Yeah, news is definitely not the correct source. It's a very sad environment. I think it was this one. And this one was, I believe, it was taken down. Yeah. In this work, we propose a novel consistency preserving loss function for recovering the phase information, the context of phase reconstruction, and speech enhancement, different from conventional techniques that directly estimate the phase using a deep model. Our idea is to exploit ad hoc constraints to directly generate a consistent pair of magnitude and phase. Specifically, the proposed loss forces a set of complex numbers to be a consistent short-time Fourier transform representation. What the heck is this thing saying? Oh my god. I'm reading archive articles, ARXIV articles. Very I don't understand anything. I don't understand anything. You know, and this is a little well, not irrelevant, but I've recently realized that my reading comprehension has actually been going down. I don't know why. You know, maybe I'm reading wrong, or like mentally something's happening to me. I don't know. It's the same thing with music. Actually, when I listen to music, you can't even see my eyes. Hang on. Okay, is that better? Yeah. When I'm listening to music, it doesn't come at me as it used to, which is very scary. Um, and maybe I'm having one of those off days, but I can't afford an off day because, um, you know, I'm trying to listen to at least 3, 4 albums every day. Uh, yeah. I don't know why. I just maybe I'm just not able to find the music that I'm looking for at the moment. Maybe I have to just dig a little bit deeper. Maybe I've just hit a wall or something. I don't know. Same thing with reading. Um, well, reading is very different because this is a matter of understanding. When I read, it's like I'm most definitely sure I talked about this before. It's like walking on a bridge, but then the moment I step out of this specific platform on the bridge, like let's say like a block, um, or a certain piece of wood, right? like if I go to a different border, if I go to a different, if I take another step, and then if I end up in a different place, like from here to here, and let's say these two places, these two areas are different, they're marked different, or just they're separated. I don't remember the past where I was a few seconds ago. Like, I think that's my biggest problem with reading, is that I can't, I just read like this. It's not, and then the trail kind of just disappears. I think that's the biggest problem that I'm currently having. I'm trying to find ways to fix that, but the only way that I've found, and this is a little, in my opinion, inefficient, because it adds a tremendous amount of time, is that I have to reread the paragraph at least twice. And even if I do that, sometimes, like, I have to do it 5-6 times, and even 5-6 times, there are some times when I just don't understand what this person is saying. And by reading the passage or this certain excerpt 5-6 times, I would have, it would have been an hour, and I would have gotten no results at all. It's a very yeah, that's just something that I've noticed, and it's really bad. It gets me sad. It really does. It's like something wrong with me, kind of thing. Um, for example, let me just read a sentence. Nikolai Gogol, the strangest prose poet Russia ever produced, died Thursday morning a little before 8 on the 4th of March, 1852, in Moscow. He was almost 43 years old, a reasonably ripe age for him, considering the ridiculously short span of life generally allotted to other great Russian writers of his miraculous generation. Now, I know, I like, if I were to go to the next page or 2 pages after, if I were to read a different book or a different anything, and come back 5 minutes later, it would be very difficult for me to kind of just recall what happened. Like, I know the guy died, but then I don't know exactly. I don't know the year. I don't know. I don't know what day. I don't know what time he died. Like, even though, you know, the book, even though the two sentences, the first sentence that I read out of the 2 sentences, it specifically, you know what I mean? It's just memorizing those details. So I don't know how people like memorize that, or if people even memorize it, or it's supposed to be that easy thing. I think that's the scary thing, when I realized that what people, a lot of people, and what I mean, a great majority of people, something basically conventional, something that's not unorthodox. It's like seeing blue, or seeing a screen, or seeing other people, and then, you know, something very acceptable, I guess. I don't know, like just something very common. It's something that shouldn't be considered or viewed as difficult or incapable. Like 1 plus 1 maybe. And that's the scary part, because, you know, at that point, I'm seeing myself on a negative light. I'm seeing myself on a place that a lot of people are not and will not be there. It's on the opposite side of that advantage, or this certain set of skills that I may have, that makes me unique in a positive way, right? Um, and that ties down with survival in a way, I guess. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me sad. I'm gonna look at this later. Don't follow me like that. I don't know if I told anyone about my elbow, on the video at least. I fell down and like on my back. All while I was falling, all that momentum, all that energy, and all the weight of my body landed on my elbow. So that was frightening. That was not good. Hurt like hurt like a burning nail. It's a lot better now. It's been a few days, but if I accidentally touch it, while I was getting up today, I accidentally my one you see my knuckle right here? It's pretty prominent, right? It's like protruding. This knuckle accidentally tapped like the center of the elbow. That was tragic. Yeah, it was really bad. second is much more difficult. Yeah, this is tragic. All right, so this part, um, try to understand this. I had to read it a few times. If you guys can get it, oh yeah. The degree to which they can change their position matches their perceived worth. As soon as novels began to create such exceptional and successful individuals, readers began to understand themselves as individuals with varying degrees of free will and capacities in turn to change their own place in society, to leave one community, for example, and to join another. Now it makes sense when I'm reading it. Like I think like, oh, okay, so that means, readers are able to imagine themselves in different positions in society, right, different from their own, and they're also able to think, um, take the information that is given and process it on their own according minds, and then think of how this one person just, yeah, I mean that in itself is free will, right? Because that person is choosing to how to process this information that is given to them. And the first sentence that I read, the degree to which they can change their position matches their perceived worth. Yeah, I mean, if I am able to recognize my own flaws and act about it, act about bettering myself by changing those difficult and hazardous and what was that word? Detrimental habits that are illing illing the speed and the weight of my weight of my steps in progression, then yeah, I mean that in itself shows what kind of a person I am. It shows that I have commitment. It shows that I have motivation, dedication to change. Um, but just trying to recall some sentences is bizarrely difficult. Like individuals with varying degrees of free will and capacities in turn to change their own place in society, to leave one community, for example, and to join another. Yeah, it's difficult. Anyways, I talk too much. We will see you guys on day 39. Bye.